Alright folks, so you should start with a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold it into one triangle. After you fold it into one triangle, you're going to fold it into another triangle, and it'll look something like this. So kind of like, maybe sort of like some paper airplane stuff that we did earlier in the year. After you get this done, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to trim down this line here, and then you're left with just a triangle. Cool. Now, if we unfold it, we're left with a square. If we refold it, what we need to do is fold this up so that these two sides overlap each other. Now, if we look at it this way, we have a hypotenuse that's 8.5 by 11. And what we want to do is fold it into 3 equal-ish parts. This side and this side need to be equal. This middle triangle, imaginary triangle there, will not. So a way to consider it, way to think about it is, and I've done this up in Onshape, I'll kind of plug it in there. If we look at a fold line going from 3 1/8 to our center point from that side, and then if we just pop this over here to make my life a little easier, and we make a point at 3 1/8 to our center line, then we're left with something that looks like this. Bingo. Bang. So these are our two fold lines. Now what we can do is we want to kind of fold it on that line, fold it over. It's going to be a little imperfect, and that's totally okay. And then we want to fold this side over and get it as close as you can. Now we have something that we can clean up, and what I mean by clean up is we can trim the top off of this thing. Boom. You can do a straight line or an angle, whatever you want. Throw that to the side. And now we have something that we can work with as the base of our snowflake. Now, you don't want to draw lines like I did because you don't want to see that, but if you want lines like that, go for it. Now I have my puzzle to see if I can fold this up back in person. I may do some magical video editing magic there, but we're back to where we started here. And now you can actually start to cut stuff out of it. Now, you don't really have to plan anything, but what I want you to think about while you're doing this is when we get into Onshape, you're only going to need to have to draw 1/6-ish of this thing in order to make it happen. So let's get started. Alright folks, so what I have here, I have essentially like 1/12 of a 6-sided snowflake. I believe it's 1/12. If I think about it, yes, it should be 1/12. We can count it up later together. Now if I unfold this, I am left with something that maybe probably resembles a spider web, but I've made it fairly organic. You can do stuff that's simple, you don't have to be all extra, but this is my snowflake. Right? Now it's a little rough because I was using scissors going through multiple sheets of paper at a time. These are my 2 measuring lines. You can do something like this. You can do something, again, a little bit more organic. Or you can just do angle cuts and maybe you'll end up with something that looks like this. Now, our goal right now, there's 2 things you can do. One is you can fold it back up. Again, my intelligence test for the moment. Let's see here. fold, 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 fold. And we can work with this, okay? Or we can work with the whole photo of the whole thing, or we can work with this, which would technically be, I think, 1/6. So take a photo of your good old snowflake, and then we'll get into the Onshape. I am going to fold this up, and I'm going to do this one, because I think this one just looks kind of neat. Let's see. Do 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 do.